Hello everyone, Hamas28 here, and today we're back in the world of Dusty Hell. Let's get right into it. So the first thing you may have noticed is this line of little furnaces that I have set up. I was working on stuff in between episodes, and I realized how annoying it was getting the alloys, like Constantan, Invar, and Electrum, to craft a lot of the thermodynamic stuff. So I set up 4 lines of these little smelters, as you can see here, or little melters is what they're called, with an alloy tank, and these guys are really cool, because as you can see, they fill up with whatever you want. I have them filtered, like this one's for nickel and iron. Then, once there's enough iron and nickel inside, the alloy tank will automatically put them together and turn it into Invar. And then I have 3 casting tables with plates, gears, and ingots to automatically make all of this stuff. So you can see this chest is slowly going to fill up with electrum plates, Invar plates, bronze plates, Constantan gears, ingots, and that's it. Just plates, gears, and ingots, which will save me a lot of time. I no longer have to craft those. It just kind of does it automatically. And because the melters are quite tiny, they can't really hold a lot of inventory, so all of the overflow still comes into this chest where we've pretty much melted down all of our ingots at this point. Now if we come up to this staircase over here, we have a chest with some cactus. If you want to go upstairs and take a look at where the cactus was coming from, we have a fully automatic cactus farm. Now we're going to need a lot of cactus green dye to make our green plastic, which is why I built this guy. There is easier ways to get cactus, of course. We're just not quite there yet. If you want to grow cactus, we could just use a phytogenic insulator, which can do it pretty easily, because the phytogenic insulator will take a lumium gear, which comes from lumium ingots, which can be made from lumium blend, which of course takes energized glowstone, which we're not quite there yet. We're like right on the cusp of it though, because really all we need is a pulverizer. We can already craft the clay-coated glowstone dust, which is the only thing stopping us. Then I did get a nice tip from one of our viewers who told me that if you make a hardened leather helm, it actually keeps you cool enough such that you'll never overheat, which is really nice. I did expand the farm a little bit further out more and planted the candleberries, which is needed to make the hardened leather. But other than that, not much has really been going on. Now, we should be able to progress in Pneumaticraft and finish off our electronics. So we still need to make 3 transistors, which will take some black plastic, compressed iron, and redstone. We can go ahead and pop it into our pressure chamber. Now, it was a little funky. You use the hopper to put stuff in. So you just put all 3 in there. And then you're supposed to be able to see it on the inside, but it's really buggy, like it doesn't actually work. Now we are almost at max pressure, which is very nice. I really like the big one because it stores enough air to do all the crafts pretty easily. And why did it spit out the compressed iron? Oh, I think I know the issue. I have this set to pull out compressed iron. So if I take that filter off and then we put 3 inside, now it should craft it. Yep, there we go. Our transistors. Now we just have to have that get pulled out here. It's a little annoying how it works like this. I thought it would just, at least in Ocean Block it didn't work like this. I don't remember having to do these filters. So if we type in transistor, and how do I pull it out then? I think I have a transistor from when we looted the base. Yep, there we go. So I should be able to filter it like so. Yep, there we go. Pulls them out. And into the chest. Then lastly, we just need to make an empty PCB, which is green plastic and compressed iron. Green plastic. And this is just a regular circuit board. So how am I going to pull this out? Unless, maybe if I remove all the filters, it'll just come out. Let me try that. So if we put in compressed iron and green plastic, the door opens. It should both go in. And it pulled it right back out. High signal. Okay, so now if I do it, see if it crafts it. I should see it on the inside. Okay, it works. Cool. And then, now if we just turn this back off, it pulls it right back out. That's so funky, though, that it works like that. You would think you could just put in the items you want, and then it should know how to craft it, but I guess not. It's going to take a little extra work. But with that, we get some more Pneumatic Craft pieces, and we can continue down the quest line. Huzzah circuits. Finally, it's over. Or is it? You have to repeat these steps for every single circuit you make. Yeah, that sounds horrible, but I can teach you the faster way to do it. So first we need an unassembled PCB, which comes from etching acid, which I think is down this way. It is. So going down here to UV exposure, there's two ways to etch an empty PCB into a proper one. This is the slow way, but you need to do this before you can get the fast one. So we need redstone lamps, a PCB blueprint, which is 6 blue plastic. Oh, there's different, I grabbed the cyan, that's why. PCB blueprint. Then we're going to need a pressure tube, along with 3 redstone lamps, and craft these into lamps. Now we can put it all together and make a UV light box. With this machine, you can expose empty PCBs to UV light. If this happens in such a way that only a part of the PCB gets exposed, this part will hold its copper traces when etched in an etching tank. The longer you expose the PCB, the higher the chance that the PCB will be successfully etched. Now this will take some pressure, so let's go ahead and plop this guy right here. That doesn't work. What if I rotate you? There we go. Fills it with pressure pretty fast. Will you explode? It's definitely close to exploding. So I should pop in a safety valve. Security. Actually, I think I can steal one from over here, because these guys, I think only stay, yeah, they're never going to explode at this rate. Just have to craft some more later. Fill you with the safety valve, and the security upgrade means if it ever goes into the danger zone, it'll just release some. So now if I put this in here, oh, it's very bright. This item does not despawn. Throw in an etching acid to develop. Each etch success chance goes up over time. Cool. Alright, so this is almost finished. So while we wait for that, let me eat some fish. And then we should be able to skip ahead to making the etching acid. That's going to take 1 bar and a boatload of items. So see, it's a good thing we made the biggest size. That's going to take 2 plastic, rotten flesh, gunpowder, spider eye, and a bucket of water. So we should have everything minus the spider eyes. Okay, luckily we do have some spider eyes. Rotten flesh, a bucket of water. Then it said, I probably should have saved it. 2 plastic and 2 gunpowder. And 2 plastic. And I believe that's everything, all 5. So now if we set this guy back to redstone signal off and put all of this inside, we should see our etching acid craft. Now why this takes pressure, I'll never know. But there's got to be an easier way to do this. It's really slow, as you can see. Actually, there might be upgrades for this. Speed upgrades. The floodgates of the interface will open and close faster, meaning items can be transported quicker. Okay, so there are ways to make it faster. Just gonna need some speed upgrades, because this is really slow. Hopefully we don't have to do it too often. Although I think for the etching fluid, you do have to do it. For every PCB probably needs its own etching fluid. Then with the spider eyes, and we're done. So now if we tell this to pull, it pulls it out. And I think it's done. Note 95, almost done. Etching acid, there we go. Quest completed, along with the etching acid. And he gives us another empty PCB. So I might as well throw in the other ones as well to get that one going. Then we need a spot to lay out our acid. So let me grab some of these stone bricks. We can actually put it in the corner over here. Probably a fine spot to do it. So now we place our etching acid, and now if we throw in our PCBs, it said it takes 5 minutes. So if I grab 4 redstone here, we can combine this into our first basic control circuit. Of course, that's not going to finish the quest because we still need to get this unassembled PCB, which is going to take 5 minutes. So I guess we're just going to have to wait. And I collected it. Oh, cool. It does show the progress, though. Let me throw these back in, and we'll wait. And with that, the quest is completed. Huzzah circuits, tier 1 circuits completed, and our first machine frame. And it was funny, while I was waiting, something called a Witch of the Wild spawned and almost destroyed me. I don't know what it was. It was like a witch, but also an enderman, because it could dodge arrows by teleporting. Luckily, it teleported onto the spikes and then died, so I didn't have to deal with that, which was very nice, because it almost killed me. It hit me with a bottle of poison that lasted like 30 seconds, and it almost took me out. So now, we can build the Buildcraft assembly table. Despite the name of the quest, this is in fact not the Buildcraft assembly table. To make use of the assembly table, place down the table, the laser, and the drill on the sides, and the I/O and the other 2 remaining sides. Finally, place down the assembly controller in one of the corners and right-click on one of the I/O units with a wrench. So we'll need one more assembly I/O unit, which will take 3 pneumatic cylinders, which is a lot of stuff. Luckily, we should be able to craft everything. Let's see, I/O unit. So we should be able to craft this guy. 3 of these cylinders. Oh, it's going to take 12 blue plastic. I don't know if we have enough plastic for that. We have a bunch of cyan plastic, but blue is red and lapis, I think. Blue. Let's see, we need 12, I think. And we're out. Yeah, I'm short 1. If you heat it up, you can actually remelt it, but I can't do it yet. I might have to use some lava in the short term to keep it going. To make our wrench. And with that, Trouble in Tech Town is completed. Assembly program, laser. Not sure how exactly that all fits in together, and I'm assuming all of this needs pressure to function, so I might just install this downstairs, like in this corner. As you can see, we have all that room right here. So, let's see how this works. So it said, place the assembly table, then the laser and drill on the sides, the I/O on the other 2 sides. So the platform here, the laser and what? Laser and drill. Wait, I only have 1 laser though. Like so. So you guys go here. And then I guess the controller comes on this side. Status. Assembly drill. I don't have a drill. I have a wrench. Huh? Assembly laser. This says nothing about a drill. Assembly drill. Let me see. Assembly drill. Oh, that is a thing. You didn't say I had to craft this. This wasn't in the quest book, which means I'm going to need some more pneumatic cylinders, unless I can turn one of these. No, I don't think so. And this does take pressure. Let's see. Huh, it doesn't say though. It shows the machines. I don't think it actually takes pressure though, because none of them have pressure attached to them. I see, so we can hit it with the wrench to switch the mode. So, can I use this wrench? You can, perfect. Now if we look, Not enough pressure. Needs at least 3.5 bar. Where do I put the pressure in this? Oh, cool. It even turns. So, what we could do... How much pressure does this hold, actually? Goes up to 5, and then it'll need a security module. So let me steal that module from over here, and then we'll route some pipes from this guy down there. So we should be able to add some more production later. Okay, it looks like it does go to the controller platform. So I should be able to just connect it right here. You gotta be careful with these pipes, just because if you, like, if I didn't connect them before, the pressure would leak out. Okay, this guy's pressure goes up. Give him a security upgrade. He can accept volume and speed. Nice. Now how do I actually use him? Program. Pressure. No problems. Status. Oh, he doesn't have a drill, which I think is needed. So if we take a look at the PCB, what was that? Oh, you can turn redstone into roses. That's interesting. Does it only show... No, drill, drill, laser. Okay, so for this one, it says you only need the controller, the platform, import, export, and the laser. So if I take an empty PCB, which we can craft, do I have any? No. I should be able to IO unit. Yeah, it doesn't have a drill. How does this work? To start the assembly, put a program in the program slot. It has one. How does this work? Okay, I figured it out. The chest was just in the wrong spot, which is why I know how to make these funky looking pressure tubes. But you put the PCB, you put the chest here, and then the importer will pull it out of the chest and put it on the platform. Then the laser is going to laser the item, like so. Oh, that's funny. It has the little symbol for don't look at this. It's a bright laser. I wonder if it's actually going to be bright or not. Oh, that's sick. It actually puts out a little laser. And then once it's finished, this arm is going to pull it out here and put it back in the chest. Now I wonder how, if you put the drill, what's the setup supposed to look like if you have it like so? Because I put the chest... Wait, did I put the chest on this? Oh, because I think I put the chest on this side. Maybe if I put it in the corner, it still works. You could probably put the drill on the corner as well. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it functions as like a 3x3. Then it's really slow, but then it puts the PCB back in the chest as unassembled. Then we just have to put it together with our transistors and such forth, and it finishes. Cool stuff. Now, it said there was a faster way, which I guess there really isn't, which makes sense. I did read he said, he being the modpack author, that you kind of want to have passive crafting for this stuff. Printed circuit board. Oh, add more in here. Nice. You want to have passive crafting so that you don't have to worry about running out, because you will need a lot of these for pretty much everything. But, oh, there was this further processing. Quest completed! And then we can leave that. This is optional. It's funny how it keeps triggering over and over again. But now that that's done, we have access to the next tier of expedient solutions, which is great. The thing that was holding us back was these little circuit boards, because that's what we need to craft pretty much everything in this next tier. Bioreactors and biofuel generators. Yeah, see, the pulverizer. Permanent resource generation. With pulverizers and other high-tech machinery, you can make the previous setup obsolete. This is what I've been waiting for. I really wanted pulverizers, because with pulverizers, we can do this entire setup, but way more compact. This whole thing can be put down into a single block, and those single blocks can be made to run a lot faster, which is really nice. See, what else is in here? What is this? Logistics module. Oh, from Pneumatic Craft. Yeah, no AE2 yet. It looks like... What is this, tier 4 AE2? Or maybe it's over here. Ah, here it is, yeah. So you don't get access to AE2 until you get the tier 3 circuit boards. But now that that's done, let's see, what is this? Aerial interface. Pick up items from your inventory and slots and put them back there. Thermal mediators. Speed up your machines and can speed up dynamos. Pneumatic dynamo. The plant gatherer and sower. This is really useful because now I should be able to automate. Wait, does this do trees? Looks like it does. You can do trees with this. So now I don't have to cut down trees anymore. Fancy gadgets from Thermal Innovation. The cobble generator. Sequential fabricator. Which means you can have it make food automatically. Let's see, the generator, what is this guy? A compression dynamo. Advanced solar panels for free power. Although it's funny, I don't have any need for power yet, so all the stuff to make the power is also where you need it. And a temperature regulator. We can finally make the pneumatic armor and install the air conditioning upgrade. And it's actually pretty cheap too. Wait, this doesn't even need electron plate, vortex tube. This doesn't even need circuits. Oh, but I think for the pneumatic armor, that's what needs circuits. Pneumatic. Yeah, these all need circuits. But it's actually pretty cheap. Air canisters, yeah, I could craft this right now. We just need 4 basic control circuits, which we should have access to. Printed circuit board, unassembled. We'll have to assemble this one. But with these 4, we should be able to make the pneumatic armor. Of course, we also need a charging station first to actually charge this stuff. Charging station. Which is really cheap. Cobblestone slabs, brick, and a pressure tube. So let's build that. Where are my bricks? I think I'm out of bricks. We're out of bricks. But now that we have access to the circuits, this is going to open up a whole world of innovation. And then I think now that... Oh, that was just that guy. That means we can move on to the next quest, because as you can see, we've unlocked Ad Astra and have a multitude of new things to unlock. And at the end, tier 2 circuits. So, one of the first new things we can do is we can convert pressure chamber valves in the assembly controller into advanced pressure tubes. Then using the advanced pressure tubes, not only can we make things like the jet boots upgrade, but more importantly, we can make the advanced air compressor along with the advanced liquid compressor. As you can see, you could also make stuff like the reinforced air canister, the aerial interface, the flux compressor. This lets you turn RF into compressed air. We could also make fluid pipes from Galacticraft and the programmable controller. I'm probably going to have to figure out the logistics drones to see how these work. A major benefit of this machine is that it does not involve any pathfinding. Interesting. And to make these tubes, all they cost is 20 pressure chamber valves. Not the cheapest, but also not too expensive. Advancement made, tiering it up. Where did I unlock that? Oh, it was an advancement. It's not the quest book. I always forget the difference. But now that we have these, I'm going to go ahead and make our advanced air compressor. We just need a little bit of cobblestone. Of course, I have all this smelted stuff. Where is my... There we go. Make some this guy, and then make the advanced air compressor. And the cool benefit of this guy is it gets hot. It gets so hot, in fact, we can use the heat generated by the air compressor to heat up the refinery. So let me move this guy. I should be able to put him just like right here, so he's directly connected. And since he's right next to this block of compressed iron, his excess heat should go directly into the compressed iron. Now to test it, we just need a little bit of cobblestone. cobblestone, a little bit of coal. Throw this in here. Warning, compressor is running at suboptimal efficiency, 96%. Cool the machine under 50. So it is a little hot, but as you can see, the heat is going in here, starting to heat up a lot. I could even add this here. No, I don't think we need to, because the efficiency will drop as it gets hotter, but we want it to make heat anyway. So if the efficiency drops, all that does is make this more useful, because it's going to get hotter. So you can see the temperature is starting to rise by quite a lot. Then once it hits over 100, we'll be good to go, and we'll be able to make some more of whatever this is. I forget the name of it. LPG. Then all we need is this guy to also hit 100, which should be possible. As you can see, it's heating up quite fast, and the pressure is increasing. I don't even think we need this guy anymore, actually, which means we could also break this down. Of course, the only negative to this system is that you have to feed this guy with coal, which is kind of a pain. Will this guy explode? I'm not actually sure about that, which means I might have to put in a security upgrade. But you can see the advanced air compressor is now over 100 degrees Celsius, and it's pushing that heat into the blocks of compressed iron, and it's going into the refinery and processing our liquefied coal, along with this thermo-pneumatic processing plant as well, and making more plastic. So that's going to start solving some of our problems. As we move into the next tier, so now we have our little charging station. This guy can actually store up to 20 bar, which means this little air compressor is not going to be as functional to get stuff maxed out, but along with these 4 basic control circuits, we can craft our pneumatic gear. And luckily we have a ton of leather ready to go, so I can actually use our pants, but we need to make a chest plate and a new helmet. And we should be able to make our pneumatic armor. So we need 4 air canisters. This is going to take quite a lot of stuff. Probably need to grab some more redstone, because we need quite a lot for these canisters. Let's make the helmet. Then the chest plate will take 8. And why is there an Enderman chilling outside? There's our chest plate. Why do I hear a zombie through this wall? Weird. Make the pants. We'll need another 3. Oh, and these are broken. I'm gonna have to swap these for fresh ones. And lastly, make our boots. And with that, we have the full set. So now I can take off this gear. Let me drop this chest. I really need better storage, but at this point, don't think it's needed too much. And we're all set. The compressed Iron Man. Now, if you remember, we can actually make our air conditioning upgrade. With 2 electrum plates, some pressure tubes, and a vortex tube. Let's grab our electrum. This is why I set this up. Grab electrum plates and our electrum. And we should be able to make the air conditioner upgrade pretty easily. Vortex tube. Oh, we need 4 lapis. To form the air conditioning upgrade. Now this goes in the chest plate. So if we just throw it on the charging station, we should be able to add our upgrade like so. Air conditioning. The air conditioning upgrades help regulate your body temperature, protecting it from hot or cold extremes caused by tough as nails. The chest plate can take up to 4 upgrades for a cumulatively more powerful effect, but be aware that this is at the cost of increased air usage. The more heating or cooling required, the greater degree of air usage. Then you can see these are all the other upgrades as well. With the security upgrade, you gain protection from fire and lava at a significant air cost. The magnet upgrade is obviously a magnet. You can install up to 6. Speed upgrades reduces the armor piece's startup time. Not really needed too much. The volume upgrades are very important. That way you can store more air. Item life allows it to be auto-repaired at the cost of air. Very useful. Launch blocks from your offhand. Why would I need that? Charging upgrade automatically charges all the other pressurizable items in your inventory. And the armor upgrades add armor protection. 2 upgrades bring it up to diamond level, while a maximum of 6 can be installed. Then it does take quite a long time to fill this. As you can see, because we're only at 5 bar, our gear can also only go up to 5 bar. And it goes very slow. But it does store quite a lot of air, which is very good. Now you can see we're actually starting to overheat now that I took off my helmet, so let me drink some purified water. And where did I leave my drinks? There we go, that cools us down. Man, why am I hearing that guy? Now, other than that, yeah, why do I hear a zombie? I need to get rid of this guy. You're a regular Enderman, but he could probably still deck me, so I'm going to leave him alone for now. But his days are numbered. Yeah, why do I hear a zombie? I don't see him though, which is odd. But now that we have access to our circuits, we can start massive... Oh, there's a hole back here. Is he back there? He's not. He's definitely over there though, for some reason. But now that we have access to our tier 1 circuits, we can start massively improving all of our machines. Oh, that's funny. The GUI is broken. As you can see on the bottom there, the outline for the tough as nails water didn't follow the water. But this also poses a lot more challenges for us as well. Because what we're going to have to do is I need to automate the production of our tier 1 circuits. As you can see, a tier 1 control circuit takes 4 pieces of plastic, redstone, and a PCB. The PCB has to be unassembled, and then 3 transistors and 3 capacitors have to be added. And the unassembled PCB has to be assembled in our assembly controller, and the empty PCB has to be made in our pressure chamber. So, luckily this is only a couple steps. It shouldn't be that difficult. Of course, the main bottleneck we're going to probably have is plastic production. And, oh, I forgot the lava was there. But as you can see, my advanced air compressor is working. It consumed all the coal, but it got so hot that it could power the refinery, which is very good. Because coal is a renewable resource, so I don't mind burning it just to produce more plastic, which is very nice. Although that is really expensive. We need plastic to heat it, and also we need coal to heat it, but we also need coal to turn into plastic. So it's a double whammy. But another thing I want to check out is I do want to explore using these drones. Oh, there's spawners for drones? That's hilarious. Because, as you could see, they're not that expensive. It's a basic control circuit and 4 turbine rotors, and these guys are just plastic and electrum. So it's actually not that expensive to craft a drone. And then as you can see, there's logistics drones, which do logistic tasks, the harvesting drones, which can do our crop farming for us, which is very nice. And then the programmable drones can do anything you program them, which is interesting. But I think you can also, there should be an upgrade, or I wonder if there is the upgrade for it. Volume, magnet status. Huh, I guess it doesn't exist in this version. I remember in Ocean Block there was an upgrade for the chest plate to add a, a drone bay. Or it might be on the head. Could be. Interesting. But now that we've unlocked tier 1 circuits, I have a lot of work to do. And I think the first thing I'm going to get done is upgrading our resource production. Because once we move away from mechanical users, this should flow so much more smoothly. In my quest for searching for free, sustainable, infinite power, I think I found a solution. This little compact machine here takes pressed wax blocks and burns it with water to make power. And without any upgrades, this can produce a maximum of 40 RF per tick. I have an infinite water source using the fluid transposer that only uses 20 RF per tick, which means this generates a profit of 20 RF per tick for essentially no cost, because pressed wax can be grown from candleberries extremely easily. Which means if I upgrade our steam dynamo with our, at thermal, if I upgrade the steam dynamo, why is this stuff here? Thermal, how do I search thermal expansion? If we upgrade the steam dynamo with the cables, yeah, these ones that increase power generation, which are really cheap, silver and redstone. Let me actually go grab some real quick. Oh wait, I can't grab any because it's only a basic. But if we add those along with, where are the upgrades for thermal, what are they called? Why can't I see them? Oh, right here. If we add the hardened, can I make reinforced? Okay, we can't make reinforced, so we can only add one. But we can pretty easily make a hardened upgrade kit. So let me grab those upgrades. So now with our hardened upgrade kit and our auxiliary transmission coil, we can upgrade this guy. And now it produces 120 RF per tick. Scary. 120 RF per tick. So it's now 100 RF profit for these wax blocks. And a single wax block produces 80,000 RF per tick, and they're extremely cheap because you get them from candleberries, which we can grow en masse. As you can see, just like that. And you can eat them. So once we also make the harvester, what's it called? We can combine this with the harvester. It was this one. Where is the harvester? Pulverizer. Here we go, the plant gatherer. We should be able to automate the entire process for limitless free energy. Now, I'm not actually sure how big the plant gatherer is. I don't know if it says here. Plant gatherer. Industrial foregoing, manual entry. When provided with power, it will harvest fully grown crops and chop down trees. This includes pumpkins, melons, and netherwort. Each operation produces a bit of sludge. Having the tank full will not slow the machine. Pretty easily. So I think we'll grab one of those next so we can actually start automatically harvesting the candleberries. So now with our plant gatherer, we should be able to just slot this guy in, say right here, and he's facing the wrong way. Now he's facing the right way. Plug him in, generates power, and I actually don't know how it works. Gathering anything. I think you can see the range, right? Energy, energy. Oh, paused. Gathering, show working area. Okay, very small. I think you can fix this with range add-ons. Yeah, there we go. And they're all pretty cheap. Actually, never mind. Any hardened glass. So I'm going to need some range add-ons so we can go further out. But then it should work, and we can test this just by using some bone meal. So if we bone meal this guy, he should automatically harvest it and produce a little bit of sludge. Let's see. Ah, he didn't replant it. That's not good. Let's see, how do I get him to replant? I think he needs, I think it said in here. This one might require a bit of work. Oh, you might need this one too, the plant sower. Plant seeds and saplings to be gathered in the plant gatherer. You can lock the slots. So I'll also need a plant sower as well. That's not so great because the candleberries produce, you can see just like that. This one only produced one. Like if we grow this again, he only gets one out of it, which is not that great. I thought there was a way for the plant gatherer to use a tool so it wouldn't just eat the whole product. I thought that was a thing. Let's see. Nope. Harvests fully grown crops. Chops down trees. Well, I guess in this case, this is not the greatest use case for this, but what I can do then is just disconnect it. And that's not how you disconnect it. And I could actually just move this guy to chop down trees, because it's better than nothing. So we can actually just chop down this tree right here. Take a little spot of dirt and then replant this guy. Turn you around. Put the dirt right here. Grab our, no saplings. Zero saplings? Are you serious? That's crazy. Okay, luckily we have a lot. Oh, we did get a couple saplings. And we could just have them automatically harvest trees. See, is it working? It said, oh, it's making saplings? That's interesting. Oh, it's breaking the logs first. It ate my orange tree. Well, that was unintended. Oh, because I think all of the leaves were touching each other. I think that's why. Luckily I can make a new one, but that was not good. Replant my orange tree. He doesn't want to grow. But regardless, I see. So that's why the quest book mentions the plant sower. With 2 tree farms, 1 for saplings, 1 for leaves. But this guy, oh, he only harvests the saplings and the wood. That's still useful though, because that means I'm basically right there and able to automate wood, which means the high oven will never run out of power. And now that we have a way to produce large amounts of power, that means our plastic setup can become more efficient. Because the problem I had was that this advanced air compressor does work, but it has to constantly be refilled with coal, which is not that renewable. It's a pretty big waste of coal. But since we can now make infinite power, we can actually use the Pneumatic thingamabob. There we go. The flux compressor. No, we cannot, because it takes advanced control circuits. Dang, that's crazy. Okay, that kind of ruins my plan. Because I was thinking like, oh, it's going to be a lot easier because I can just use the flux compressor to convert forge energy into pressure. But that says, no, you cannot. Huh. Well, that sucks. Guess that means I'm going to have to just keep burning coal for the time being, because we need a lot more plastic, so I can just keep producing basic control circuit. At this point, it seems like everything is going to be gated by our production of control circuits, because pretty much everything needs them for tier 2. As you can see, device frames need them, machine frames need them, pretty much everything needs them, and I need them in really big quantities. Now, I did upgrade our sieve here to the steel version. Can't really see it. You can see it there. Which increases the yield from our gravel by quite a lot. So we should be getting a lot more ores. But that doesn't really help our solution, because it's going to be useful to get a lot more iron, because I'm going to need more iron in order to produce... What is it? I need more iron to produce more compressed iron. But our bottleneck right now is just plastic generation. And there's not much we can do about that so far, unless we introduce more refinement methods. We can break down diesel. We can break diesel and naphtha down. For example, diesel can be broken down into naphtha, and then naphtha can be broken down into gasoline and LPG. Then we can use gasoline. You can break that down into further LPG. Just takes a lot of heat. And we can burn gasoline for power. As you can see, 1 bucket of gasoline is 2 million RF. But since we can't convert RF into pressure, it's kind of useless. I just need to keep producing more LPG. So I think what I'm going to have to do is expand the refinery setup. And I think we're going to have to expand it out back east, because I'm going to need to break down diesel into LPG. We're going to break down kerosene. Kerosene can also be broken down into naphtha, and naphtha into LPG. And then we're going to break down the naphtha as well. So that should yield more LPG and gasoline as a byproduct, which is actually pretty good. Then we can use the gasoline to further expand, because, interesting, so we can, oh, you can break down the gasoline further into LPG. It'll just take a lot of thermo-pneumatic processing plants, which is not that bad. It's just going to be a really big coal sink, because we need to keep the heat up. As you can see, this already burned through all that coal. But after we have enough plastics produced, that should solve itself. We won't get bottlenecked for long. I just need enough plastic to where we can upgrade all of our current production to a higher tier. First things first is going to be turning all these into pulverizers, and that should help the efficiency as well. But until I can solve the plastic production issue, we're kind of going to be stuck for a while. But, as always, I'm your host, Hamas28, and I'll see you guys next time.